Hello again, and although it's the middle of January, let me wish you a very happy new 2021. Having had a look over what I've actually been doing on these reflections, I've decided to rename the channel C21 in Focus to give you, in the best traditions of coaching, some raw material on which to focus, from which you can create your own ideas, solutions and actions. So your starter question for this week is this: what good habits that you committed to last year do you need to re-engage with at the start of 2021? During 2020, a lot of people made significant adjustments to their lives and lifestyles. Faced with lockdowns, short-time working, loss of human contact, and adapting to new ways of communicating, many of us have created new habits to maintain our productivity and preserve our health and well-being. Many of these habits were a reaction to events around us and what amounts to the unnatural lifestyles we've had to adopt to protect ourselves from COVID-19. We are, after all, social creatures that thrive on human contact and interaction. We thrive on the opportunities for creativity and the ability to make and enact choices. All of these factors that enrich our lives are diminished by the pandemic. So the habits we designed to counteract these negative effects are like a protective wall created to safeguard our well-being. But as the pandemic has gone on and on, its ongoing effect is like a corrosive acid wearing away at our defences. So now it seems would be a good time to review some of the helpful life and work habits we put into place last year to make sure they're being reinforced as we await the end of the vaccination programme that will liberate us from the current constraints on our lives. So with that in mind, in what areas did you create new habits for yourself in 2020? Here's two that I thought of. You may have created new habits with respect to space. One of the great challenges of lockdown is that we've lost access to the multiple spaces in which we lived out the various aspects of our lives and have had to compress these into a single space, our homes. In your home space, you may be working, schooling children, trying to relax, maintaining time for significant people in your lives and family, and trying to find space for hobbies and pastimes. Very few of us, when we choose our homes, imagined that we would be doing all of these in the same place and at the same time. You may be one of those people who made creative use of your space to balance these multiple demands. You may have been able, for example, to use different rooms for different priorities, but for other people, the same space, the same physical space in their home has had to serve multiple functions. As one person said to me recently, my desk is where I work, where I communicate with friends and families, and where I study. It all happens within the same four walls. But to counteract this feeling of groundhog room, if not groundhog day, some have made the effort to change around the room decor with different arrangements for work, study and leisure. It's one way of creating a sense of ending the working or school day and of leaving it behind to return home. But this conscious rearrangement takes effort, and maintaining this habit over time can be quite wearing. But if you thought it was worth the effort when you put these habits into place, perhaps it's still worth the effort to maintain them now. Think about the benefits you gain by investing some daily energy in managing and organising the physical spaces in your home, and decide if that small extra inconvenience is still as worth it now as it was when you made that habit choice in the first place. The second thing to think about is this: what were the steps you took last year to invest in simplicity and to reduce complexity? For some, the forced limitations of lockdown have helped them make choices which simplify their lives and, as a result, reduce self-imposed pressures. Some people just like to be busy and they feel the need to make profitable use of every moment of the day. But during 2020, I've met people who redefined what constituted profitable, giving themselves permission, for example, for less productive days, permission for more flexibility in terms of when the working day starts, finishes, and overall how it's managed. And they also built capacity into their lifestyles, anticipating that new and unexpected challenges may be appearing over the horizon. What choices did you make in 2020 about simplifying your own life? You gave yourself permission to set different priorities and objectives. How careful are you now being to retain those permissions? Or are you in danger of falling back into what, for you, could be the trap of starting to become too busy for your own good? In a time when many factors are reducing our choices, any choices that we can ourselves make about how we structure our lives, these can reverse this frustrating background sense of disempowerment. Life, after all, is a gift, and consciously choosing ways to love ourselves is a way of celebrating and honouring the gift we call life. Now, that's a thought that will take us into our reflection for next week, but for now I invite you to focus on the good habits which, for good reasons, you chose to adopt in 2020, and to recommit yourself to ensuring you derive the benefits that they gave you then as you launch into 2021. Thanks again for your time, and have a good week.